What's something that you're looking to accomplish here in the next 12 months?
Well, to be honest with you, I really liked when I sold 35 houses. That was obviously the most money I ever made, but I've really liked only selling 12 houses in the one last year. My work-life balance is phenomenal, and to the point where if I leave for like any brief amount of time, it's like, oh, I appreciate that they want to be around me and they love me. And but at the same time, daddy does want to provide a good living for you. And if daddy wants to provide a really good living for you, daddy's got to be away and do XYZ. So um, with that being said, I'm pretty comfortable with not marketing myself in real estate like I did in the first 2, 3 years, because it makes me a little uncomfortable to market myself. I just really feel like I am would be preferred to get all my business from that which I did not have to solicit for, because it is a popularity contest. And like, frankly, I give a lot of information right on that 3.5 inch book. I feel like that is maybe something I'd be more willing to do, is like videos and stuff, and break down this consultation so that it is tangible for somebody, because I still want to get the information out there. That's part of like the consultations, like where I get like kind of like the most happy, I think, throughout the process. If we get them under contract, really happy. If we sell for record price, really happy. Multiple offers, really happy. But the consultation, like, oh, well, okay, you got me really. I actually would rather than be like, oh, now I've got a lot to think about, because that means they weren't thinking about it. And now I've done what I needed to do so that they can end up making those no regret decisions, so they can drive down one of those paths that I hope that they go down. Because if they just stand there and they don't go, then that's my fault. So, yeah. What else? Well, I don't remember your
What,
question again.
what in the next 12 months, anything that you're
12
looking
months.
to
Okay.
specifically do?
So, brief history, business started to slow down, and I blamed it all on the rates, right? So I said, well, I got to do something. And I did not, in the last 7 years, I've never had a real job other than real estate agent. So I just got on Indeed and started looking around, and I saw this job for a distributing company, a family owned small distributing company, that sells juice. And I worked with them, got the job, worked with them for 4 months, and realized that um, I really want to be back in this industry again. I really love working with business to business people, people that took the risk and started their own carry out, you know, wine store, whatever it is. There's a million different small business owned shops out there. And I would love to be able to be my own boss in that. I've got 13 years. I've been in the industry of distributing longer than real estate, 13 to 7. So it just really fueled my passion again for wanting to do that. So I started my own distributing company again, faking it. But I went to the government business site. I'm brain farting on what that is, but downloaded, got the LLC. So my company's called Sunny Distributing LLC. I thought maybe I could email out to Sunny Delight and get some of their business. Um, so yeah, that's kind of what I want to do next. I want to take a big risk and venture out into something that I think would be very profitable for me and my family, but then for a lot of other people. So it's just kind of one of those things. I don't want to push people in this high interest rate market to date the rate. You can refinance whenever. I mean, yeah, that's a marketing spiel for, hey, I'm still in the industry. If you're going to decide to do that, pick me, pick me. I'm not out there like that. I don't want to do that. I just want to help people if they have to move or thinking about selling. I want to help them make their decisions, right? So
Yeah.
I just don't see the business there for me like it was when everybody and their brother could have a life upgrade for no cost. Now they can have a life downgrade for a cost. That's going to take a very big chunk of the properties off the market, and they're going to continue to keep the market the way it is, which is under housed, and still we're in Columbus. So
Yeah.
we're a great place to be. The last listing I had, condo in Westerville Schools, and in like 48 hours, we had 12 scheduled showings. Nothing after that, nothing. So all the serious buyers were on it right away within the first 48 hours. And yeah, they got multiple offers still. So in contract with a backup offer, and the seller needed time to find suitable housing. So it's still a seller's market more than a buyer's market. And the fact that, if there's that many people still out there competing for a condo that has $271 a month association dues, and it's still going to be $160,000 a year at that rate, there's that many people still that can afford that, then,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's just a lower price point, and I don't know. It just feels like a tougher time. You've been doing this for how many markets have you seen?
I
I
got it
can
in
say I've seen
2011.
two.
Yeah, I got it in 2011.
So you've seen
I got the tail
three.
end.
Would you call it three, or would you call it two?
Yeah,
Also, it's like
I got
last
the tail end of 2008, 2009. Dealing with the foreclosures and
more like
bankruptcies.
foreclosures and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
those were
yeah,
still around in 2016. So that was kind of like, you know, still a thing. And then the next year, far less. And then the next year, way far less. It's like all of them got bought by investors in 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12. And they're not
yeah,
going anywhere. They're investments. They're going to stay there. They could cash that equity out, but why would they do that? They're living the American dream: buy property, cash flow them, and live in the sunset world.
yeah.
Hire a property manager, collect your money. So they're not going to let go of those houses. So they're not going
Right.
to come back on the market. Do you agree with that, or I don't know?
Yeah, no, it's just interesting. I mean, even in the last 24 months, the question is, and I think this is why our market in Central Ohio is a little bit different than what the national news is pushing, in the sense of, there's probably not going to be this slowdown in price, and there's not going to be this magical influx of supply, because how many homeowners where they bought the house as a primary resident, and they have a sub 3% credit interest rate, when they go to buy that second home in the future, or their new home, are they going to keep now their primary because they have such a good rate and payment that now they could rent it
Rent
out
it out.
and start cash flowing, right? And then there's a whole nother conversation
Yep.
around the people that were able to do that, but they now have equity in the home, but they can't afford to do anything because of their monthly income doesn't support the new pricing
Right.
and the new rates. So like, when we're talking to clients, it's really determining who absolutely needs to sell and who absolutely needs to buy. And then there's going to be a big chunk of people that would like the idea of buying and or selling, but they just can't, right? They're not there yet. And Central Ohio is going through a transition, in my opinion, of, we're becoming not quote unquote affordable based off of what we're used to, right? We're a growing city,
Uh-huh.
probably going to be a city that becomes a little bit more renter heavy. We're probably going to be a city where people are staying in their renting apartments and houses for a lot longer than what we're used to. And as agents, we have to understand that, and that's where those consultations come in, and being that expert, when it comes to the space, and truly being able to say, hey, maybe now is not the best time for you to buy, or maybe now is not the best time for you to sell, based off of what you told me.
Yeah, I made a girl cry a couple years ago because she had the pre-approval letter, but she didn't realize that she had to have the money. It was definitely during the appraisal gap time. So she thought that the dream was attainable just because she had qualified for the loan. And I had to tell her, like, the reality is, in your price point, you have to have X dollars to be competitive. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's highly likely. And we're going to use statistics like 99%, like you wouldn't get it. And she just, like, she appreciated it, but it did break her down, and she did cry because she knew that her timeline wasn't the timeline. And
Right.
while you were talking about people renting and staying in rentals, I bet there's a big population that's used to that. I didn't think about it, but from 2008, 9, and 10, there were a lot of foreclosures. So there were a lot of people that were sitting renting because they had to. The clock was set on them. And yeah, maybe they do want to jump back in, but now could they afford it? It's way
Yeah.
more than what their rent was.
Yeah.
So,
Logan, what's something you're looking to do in the next 5 years?
well, I definitely want to stay in real estate. I don't want to leave this industry for anything. If part of me doesn't want to do the whole marketing thing, but I know that if I did that would grow and sustain my business. I probably could just be a real estate agent for 5 years. But at the same time, I'd like to slow and steady, just help clients as they come, and just not out there to give up that work life balance yet when it comes
Sure.
to real estate. Now, um, but again, I want to defend myself as a real estate agent. After 7 years, I feel like I could be a part-time real estate agent and do a really great job. Definitely not that same guy, at month 4 selling my first house, faking it, not knowing how to answer most of the questions, just trying to be a good steward for them. Then you need to be full-time. But once you know all the answers to the questions, I feel like I can juggle multiple things. If Elon Musk can have so many jobs, I can at least have like very small, not as important jobs in multiples, right?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Um, Logan, what's a legacy goal of yours? What's something that you want to leave behind when you're no longer here?
I do like legacy. I think that being able to leave something behind is cool, and not everybody's going to be able to do it. And if I could leave a real estate business intact for my children when they become of age, I hope they get their license. It was by far the smartest investment I've ever made, as far as return on that money. And so I'd love to have them, an avenue to do real estate. That'd be so cool to be able to work with my family. So it's not anything I'm pushing. It's like sports. Whatever they want to do, I'll let them do. But if I secretly want them to play baseball, I know I need to just back off. If I secretly want them to be my future real estate partners, I just need to back off. And hopefully they decide they want to do it with me.